Hello and welcome to episode 96 of The Pilgrimage on FM23. I'm Jamie, and coming up on today's episode I've got at least 2 interviews for you, and then we'll have the pre-season and transfer edition of whichever club we end up at for the coming season. So let's get straight into it, and the first interview is coming up in just a moment. Okay, well here we go with our first interview of the episode, and as you can see it is with the Premier League side Leicester City. They finished 15th, so clear of relegation, but with 39 points, not massively so. So they've invited me along, and they want to put forward their vision for the club and allow me to suggest any alterations for them to consider should they wish to hire me. So let's thank them for the opportunity and get down to business. Can you tell me why managing at a number of clubs, as you have done, is a good thing? I've had a wide range of experiences to draw upon. I've seen everything there is to see. Considerable reservations about the fact you've shown a tendency to spend only a short amount of time at a club. Why has that been the case so far in your career? I've never been nervous to move around if I felt it would benefit my career. The fact I'm attending this interview vindicates my approach. Why aren't you thinking of making what some people would describe a sideways move? I'm keen to keep progressing, and I'd love the opportunity to do that here. Why have you felt it acceptable to apply for a number of jobs whilst employed by another team throughout your career? Career prospects, simple as that. You're up for a few jobs right now. Are you hedging your bets? I'm doing what I can to keep progressing. Are you able to ease our worries about how you've tended to handle the media? Right. I'll try and convince them. I'll say I need opportunities to work at a club like this if I'm to learn what it really takes. You've previously been embroiled in media controversy, citing your inability to command the support of your players. What can you say to address our concerns about that happening here? I'll promise there'll be no problems. And I'm more than happy to work with the director of football. I don't want to make major changes, but I'll ask for a small budget just in case there's 1 or 2 that I want to do. If you emerge as the successful candidate, you will be expected to adhere to the club's vision for the future. We're interested to hear your comments if you have any. Sign players under the age of 23. Well, that's a current philosophy, so that's fine. Make the most of set pieces. It's only favoured. We can certainly do that. Work within the wage budget. Again, I'm required to do that now. 1-year contract for players over 33. 2 years for players over the age of 31. That's fine. And 3 years for players over the age of 29. Again, no problem. And the 5-year plan is work towards a top half finish, and then eventually get one and maintain it. So that's absolutely fine. They've no expectations for the current season, and they'll talk to me in the build up to next season. That's absolutely fine. Any requests? No. So that's the end of the interview. They've thanked me very much for an enlightening discussion and will be in touch. So I'll be back in a moment with interview number 2. Okay, time now for the second interview of today's episode, and as you can see it is with Nottingham Forest, who have been relegated from the Premier League, so we'll begin next season in the Championship. And again, they've welcomed me, told me they're pleased I've come along to discuss their plans for the club's vision. So let's get into the interview. Can you tell me why managing a number of clubs, as you have done, is a good thing? Seen everything there is to see. I'm going to give them the same answer. Considerable reservations about the fact you've shown a tendency to spend only a short amount of time at a club. Never been nervous to move around, so same answer again. Some of the supporters might not like the fact that you're currently managing a local rival. What are your thoughts on the matter? We're not on the same level. Don't envisage any problems. You developed a reputation for applying for other jobs while still employed. What's all that about? I will always put my own best interests first. Is it fair to say you haven't done a great job with the media? I think that's a little bit harsh, but I'm willing to improve. You've previously been embroiled in media controversies about your inability to command the support of your players. What can you say to address our concerns about that happening here? There won't be any problems. How would you feel about working with current Director of Football, Kieran Scott? Yeah, happy. And again, I'm going to ask for a small budget to make modifications to the backroom staff. And in terms of their club vision for the future, board culture is make progress on and off the pitch, work within the wage budget and grow the club reputation. Good. Both of those are good. 1 year contract for players over the age of 32. Again, that's fine. Reach the Championship playoffs. That's what we want. So that's fine. Gain automatic promotion the following season and then build on it. So that's exciting. No expectations. And they'll talk to me once budgets are set for next season. That's fine. And I don't have anything I want them to consider. So that concludes the interview. And I'll be back in a moment to let you know how both of those have gone. Okay, well, first to blink are Leicester City, and they've come back and asked for my proposed backroom changes. The only one I want to make, if I do take the Leicester job, is to take my assistant manager Robert Kovac with me. So, assuming he is interested in the move, then, which he is, so we'll then get rid of Emil Heskey, and I think that's probably the only change I want to make. So I'll submit that. In fact, we can't afford to do that one. So, right, it looks like I am going to have to reset the compensation, get rid of the assistant manager. No, can't afford to do it, so can't even afford to get rid of him, never mind hire a replacement. So I'm just going to have to submit the staff as it is. And let's wait and see what happens. I'll be back in a moment with the next part of this story. Okay, well, we didn't have to wait long, and as you can see, we've received an offer from Leicester City. Bear in mind, my current wage is less than £15,000 a week. They're offering me £46,000 per week, so it is an absolute no-brainer, and they are looking to become an established top half Premier League side. So I think what I will do is delay the negotiations, because as you can see, Nottingham Forest have requested the backroom changes as well, so it's only fair to give them an opportunity to make me an offer too. So we'll delay that one for a week and Leicester have agreed to that. So we'll see if we can take Robert Kovac to Nottingham Forest, if they are willing to allow me. It looks like they probably are, but he's not interested in moving. So again, no changes needed. Okay, so I will come back in a moment to let you know whether Nottingham Forest make me an offer. Okay, well, Nottingham Forest have made me an offer, and quite honestly, at £14,500 a week, that's less than I'm on now, never mind the offer that Leicester have made me. So I'm not even going to discuss the offer from Nottingham Forest. I'm going to walk away from that one, and I'll come back when Leicester come back to me and ask me for a final decision. So we're walking away, and I'll see you again in a moment. Okay, well, 1 week since their original offer, and Leicester are back in, so we have the opportunity to negotiate the contract with them. So let's start the negotiations. I absolutely don't want to balls this up. We want to make sure we get the job. They're offering me a 2-year contract, which is great, offers me some security. Let's see if we can push them up to 50 grand a week. It's not a sticking point for me, and we'll see if we can knock them down to 30% on that, and they've come back at 48.5% and 35%. So I think that represents a successful negotiation. We'll finalise the deal, and I'll be back in a moment to confirm myself as the new manager of Leicester City. Okay, well, the news is now official. As you can see, skysports.com, breaking news. Leicester City hire Sheehan. In a move which is sure to spark plenty of heated debate, Jamie Sheehan has left Sheffield United to join Leicester. Sheehan arrives with a record of 275 wins, 125 draws and 153 defeats in his career. He's won 3 league titles. Sheehan will face pressure to bring immediate success to King Power Stadium, having stepped up from his previous standing to take sole charge, whatever that means, and will need to hit the ground running if he's to win over those who believe his appointment is a questionable decision. Paulo Fonseca was considered to be the favourite for the job, particularly after he was spotted attending an interview with the club, but they ultimately preferred a different candidate, me. Sheffield United will now be looking for a new manager. Sheehan, 53, has accumulated 11 years of experience with the likes of Fulham and Sheffield United. Sheehan has earned himself a reputation for signing players under the age of 23 and appears to be a great fit for the club's current vision at King Power Stadium. Sheehan prefers to use a 4-3-3 DM wide formation. I certainly do. Sheehan lifted the Serie B title with Palermo in 2032 and will now be afforded the chance to enhance his reputation by bringing success to his new club. The job will see him come up against his former club Fulham in the season ahead. So let's get into Leicester City, and I'll be back to introduce you to the club properly in just a moment. Okay, well here we are at Leicester City, and this is the squad we've inherited. There are some clear and obvious things to point out. First of all, we've got 3 goalkeepers in the squad, but they're all absolutely terrible. The other thing to point out is that given the distribution of midfield players, it's absolutely suited to playing my preferred 4-3-3 DM wide formation. So we'll absolutely be looking to do that. The one thing we do need to do is get rid of players not at the club, and that will give us a much better idea of what we've got to work with. And clearly we need some centre backs. The ones we have are fantastic. They're amongst the best players at the club, but there's almost no depth there. So we'll be looking to do that. Probably be looking to get rid of 1, maybe 2 of our defensive midfielders and bring in a couple more central midfielders as well. Other than that, it's an alright squad. So that's the squad as it stands now, and I'll come back at the end of pre-season to show you the transfers we've made and also the pre-season results. So I'll see you again in a moment. Okay guys, it is now the end of pre-season. The first match in the Premier League is 24 hours or so away, so time to have a look at the transfers we've done. And as you can see, there have only been 2, one of which was arranged before I even joined the club, so I wasn't responsible for the signing of Alvaro Fernandez. I'll show you him anyway. Joins from Leeds for £38 million, 30-year-old left back, so not really sure why they've signed him, because he doesn't fit the profile at all. They're looking for me to sign players under the age of 23 for the first team, so that one's a little puzzling. I have also brought in Sam Long on loan from Chelsea. Sam is another one who doesn't fit the age profile, but we needed a goalkeeper, and he isn't as good as I was led to believe, so we are in the process of trying to sort out another one. But with the first game happening tomorrow, the transfer hasn't gone through yet, so I'll introduce you to the other goalkeeper that's on his way in on the next episode, assuming the transfer goes through at all. So following the conclusion of transfer business before the season, let's have a look at how pre-season went. And as you can see, we've had a perfect pre-season. We beat Rangers away from home. We then went on tour to China and beat Beijing Guan, Shanghai Port, Shandong Taishan. We then came back home and played Sheffield United at the King Power. We then played Standard Liège at home as well, Celtic at home and beat them, Besiktas at home and beat them, and finally we made the trip over to the Netherlands and played FC Utrecht and won there by 4-1 as well. And as you can see, our opening 2 games of the season are away to Leeds United and at home to Burnley in the Premier League, and those games I will show you on the next episode. So if you've enjoyed that, please leave a nice thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for Monday to Friday Football Manager videos. Thank you very much indeed for watching, and goodbye.